Hi, the Rev Pipster here. Um, Responding to a question that's been placed in one of the blogs and using a portion or a verse of John's Gospel, John chapter 20, verse 31, uh, where it says in King James, King James, so I can quote exactly for it. And these things were written that you might believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that believing you might have life through his name. Okay, and the statement, the question is being asked here, okay, that was asked to me by Piriac126, I believe his name is Jesus Christ God or Son of God? Okay, so I'm going to deal with this a couple of ways. Firstly, we're going to look at who's saying this, that Jesus is the Son of God. Okay, it's John the Apostle, and it's in his Gospel, and he starts by saying that he wants us to believe that Jesus is the Christ. Now, the fact that Jesus is the Christ, which in Hebrew is Messiah, meaning the Anointed One, to be honest, for me as a Gentile, isn't a big deal. Not really, because we weren't Gentiles were never looking for the Messiah, because we never believed in God, in the Christian God of the Bible anyway, or the Jewish God. It was the Jews who were looking for the Messiah. So this is obviously something that is being said. Firstly, this title of Christ or Messiah is being used for Jews. Then it says the Son of God. It's another title in the Gospels, throughout the Gospels, and John's Gospel a lot. Jesus is referred to as the Son on many occasions. Jesus calls himself the Son. Thanks, mate. And so it's obviously a title that's being used here once again. It notes rank, it notes position, and that's how it's being used here. It's not saying that Jesus is only the Son, and it's never used in that context. Jesus himself never says, I'm only the Son, and I'm inferior next to the Father. In fact, Jesus himself in John's Gospel says that all judgment has been given to the Son by his Father, so that the Son may receive equal honor. It says in John's Gospel. Let's go back to John chapter 20, shall we? So, John, did he want us actually to believe that Jesus Christ was just the Son? Well, once again, it goes to show that John was obviously schizophrenic or something, couldn't make up his mind, was indecisive, because the very first line of John's Gospel, which in Greek reads NRK and hologos, kai hologos poston theon, kai theos and hologos, says that in the beginning was the Word, whom identifies as Jesus. The Word was with God, so it places him with God, and the Word was God. Okay, so he's obviously being God. It's God by nature, not by design or by position. It has the same title, God. Okay, and so at the end of the Gospel, when it says Jesus Christ is the Son, you obviously know that it's emphasising in humanity. His Father was God, and in his deity, he was God, and his title was the Son. Jesus, like I said, Jesus himself used the title. Just as in the end of Matthew's Gospel, Jesus tells his disciples to go out and baptize people in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now, what did Jesus want us to believe? Because that's got to be the important thing. Did Jesus go around saying, I am God? Did he say the words, I am God? No, but some people did believe he was God. Obviously, John was one of them, because he said he was in his Gospel. But people actually called Jesus God. And Jesus acknowledge and receive the title and would generally praise a person or say something very profound in response to that. Take a look at how he responded to Peter when he said, who do the people say that I am? The disciples were saying, you are Elijah, you are Ezekiel, you are Jeremiah reborn, you are all the prophets. And then Peter says, you are the Christ, you are the Messiah. And Jesus' response is, blessed art thou, Simon Peter, for you have flesh and bone has not revealed this to you, or flesh and blood, but it has come from my Father in heaven. Okay, so he praises Peter, and then he starts going around saying, I am the Christ, I am the Messiah. After that, he's waiting for the revelation to come. But in John's Gospel, we have a very similar case repeated. And you see here you have a guy called Thomas in the very same chapter, some 3 lines above. And if you go to John's Gospel, John chapter 20, verse 31, go to verse 29, you'll see Jesus say to Thomas, because you have seen, you believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believed. So people want to be blessed, they should believe what Thomas believed. If you really want to be blessed, you should believe what Thomas believed. Okay, so I'm going to throw this question back to my Muslim viewers, to my Jehovah's Witness viewers, to my Mormon viewers, and to my Christian Science viewers, and anyone who believes that Jesus is just the Son, and that Jesus, the Bible doesn't teach Jesus as God, and you want to know what Jesus wants us to believe, you read John's Gospel, as we're encouraged to do by Piriac 126. Okay, you can go to my blog on RE the Human Jesus to see this take. Read that chapter. Go to verse 29 and read what Jesus says to Thomas. Go to verse 27 and read what Jesus asked of Thomas. Then go to verse 28 and you'll find out what Thomas obviously believed in response for Jesus to respond in the way saying, you believe because you've seen, blessed are they who have not seen and yet believed. Okay, because that's obviously what Jesus himself wants you to believe about him. And then go and do likewise. And if you are a Muslim, I know you don't accept Jesus being God, and you don't accept him being a literal Son of God. But if you believe that God breathed the Holy Bible, it says that if you believe in his name, Jesus, the Christ, the Son of God, you will have life through his name. Okay, so please come back to me when you find out exactly what Thomas believed, because that's what Jesus himself wants you to believe. God bless you.